Hey guys, and welcome to this episode of the Bad Idea Bros. So as you are probably very well familiar with, we like to do big stupid adventures, and this one is not going to be any exception to that. So I've just gotten back home after having a catch up and a conversation with Josh, and we've decided that for our big adventure this year we're going to attempt the Trans-Alpine Scooter Safari. Now, for those of you that don't know what that is, that's an annual event held here on the South Island of New Zealand that is a fundraiser for the Cancer Society of New Zealand. So what's involved? Well, basically it is a scooter run or a small CC bike run from here in Christchurch over Arthur's Pass to the west coast and Hokitika. Sounds very straightforward and easy saying it like that, but the road from here to Hokitika, being Arthur's Pass, is actually really difficult, really steep. It's an alpine road. Now, doing that on a small CC bike is no small question, so it's a big mission. Now, of course, being us, we could just go and buy a scooter off of the shelf, but we like to make things a little more difficult. So Josh and I have set a few ground rules in regards to the bikes we're going to use for this. Now, we agreed that they should be old school cool. We agreed that they definitely have to be 50cc. Two-stroke would be preferable. Other than that, it's pretty open slather, so we'll see what we can find. But for now, I'm going to go and start trolling the used bike markets and see what I can find. This one's going to be an interesting one, guys. So guys, I'm back. It's been probably a week or so since Josh and I had the conversation and decided we were going to be doing this scooter safari. And as you can see behind me, I've finally got a scooter. I went for a 1986 Honda Nifty 50. I think they're known as a Honda Spree or possibly a Honda Eve in other countries. It's in pretty good condition for what it is. I actually picked it up yesterday and attempted to ride it from where I purchased it from home. Now, this thing is actually still registered and legal. I did probably 30 or 40 kilometers with it, maybe a little less, and it broke down. So nothing too major, just seems to have a fueling problem, so I'm not super stressed at the moment. We've still got a bit of time to work on it. It's not an issue. I'm really excited to see what Josh has got. I have no idea. He's basically been a closed book in regards to it. He's not given me any clues. So that's where we're going to now. And yeah, see you guys there shortly. Good.
Wow.
Yeah, 86 Nifty 50. 86. So 86.
Nice. Oh, yeah, I see on Rejo.
So yeah, it is registered. Obviously ticks the box for under $1,000, ticks a box for two-stroke. Yep. And ticks the box for old school cool.
It does. Old school, definitely. Definitely. Two-stroke is always the way to go, especially with the smaller bikes.
Definitely, and obviously 50cc. So I think, would you agree that I've managed to tick all the boxes?
I think you've ticked it all very well there.
Excellent. So
nice little classic, and it's surprisingly in pretty good condition.
Well, it's also red. The red ones are apparently a bit rarer than the rest.
Yeah.
I think blue was the other colour that came out in, I think white possibly.
Yeah, blue was common, red less common, and white was not common at all.
But yeah, dude, so should we get this out and we'll go and have a look at yours?
I think we should, yeah.
What did you get?
I'm not going to tell you, you're going to have to come and see it.
Oh, dude.
You'll get a nice little surprise on it.
So Josh has insisted that I follow him in while he takes the bike. We'll just close the gate here so the dog doesn't get out. So, alright. So where is yours, man?
Alright, it's round the corner.
Okay.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. No, it's not a Honda, Yamaha Raz.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. We both got Nifty 50s. Oh, dude, that's friggin' hilarious.
I thought you'd like that little one. Also, at 86.
You're joking.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's, no, sorry, I'm not joking.
No kidding.
Not quite as tidy as yours.
It's not bad though,
You
man.
did the job. It's all straight.
It's all,
Maybe a bit of paint here and there.
it's all there.
It is all there.
Oh my god. We got... well, there you have it, guys. We apparently have similar tastes in scooters. So, does yours run, or...?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Just needs a little electrical tweaking to hopefully start it, or at least that's what I've been told, but I'll have a play around with it and see how it starts, or if it
So,
starts.
electrical tweaking, do you want to elaborate?
I've been told it's the starter solenoid that needs to be changed, but after having a bit of a look at it, it may have been a little bit played with, so we'll see what the wiring is actually like. It's seen better days. In fact, it's not even all original.
Wow, somebody made it out of fiberglass. That's awesome.
And a hinge.
And a hinge. Well, I get what they're going for.
It worked. That's the main thing.
Weight reduction, lightweight?
Is fiberglass lighter than the very, very thin amount of plastic they used on the original seats?
Oh dear. Well guys, there you have it. We have both accidentally bought the exact same bike.
Different colours, which is interesting.
Thank God. Guys, so all the 5 minutes and both bikes have been pulled down. The part that we're after is this little guy. So that's the starter solenoid. I'll let Josh pull that off so that I can get him doing it. But it's just literally got a little clip that it slides onto, and then we unplug it. So should be...
I don't think this has been off in years.
Probably ever. It's meant to be a mostly original bike, so there we go. So just a wee 4-pin.
It's in a rubber case.
Yep.
To keep it clean, I assume.
Oh, let's
see if it comes out, eh?
There we have it. So that's hopefully, supposedly, the fault on Josh's bike. So let's transfer that over to his and see if we can get his to run. I still can't believe we ended up with the same bike. Kind of fortuitous though, because it gives you a chance to diagnose this.
Yeah, to be fair, it does. And I still like that we've got two different colours.
Definitely a bonus. I just really, really hope that yours will start and run now.
Yeah.
So let's put it to the test.
Moment of truth.
I see an oil light.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
It's clicking a bit louder than the other one. So unfortunately it's not that.
Bugger. Alright, so wasn't as easy as hoping. Maybe what we'll do is some pretty shoddy...
Yeah, some very terrible wiring on that. There's 1, 2 joins just off there.
Yeah, and we've got these. I think these are actually the standard plugs, but this most certainly isn't.
That's definitely not.
Nor is that.
Crimped
I
on.
don't know why that's been joined like that. There's no real reason.
I'd say someone's broken the wire like that at some point.
Possibly.
And, done a very trying fix.
Well, guys, wasn't as successful as hoped, but there shouldn't be much to get it going, hopefully. I mean, it is clicking, so it's seemingly getting
Power is
power.
going through the system, but it's not quite making it to the starter motor.
Right, onwards. So as you guys saw, putting my battery in didn't really alleviate the problem. What I noticed when I was giving the starter motor, which is just down there, a bit of a whack, because sometimes a bound starter motor can just be like that. I got my hands on this bit here, just looking at the wiring for any brakes, and there's actually a lot of heat in here, so there's something shorting, and considering that there's brown packaging tape on the wiring here, I'm not super surprised. Oh, dude, look at that.
Oh, it's cooked.
It's cooked. So I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but that black part in there is an indication of cooked wiring. Oops, camera's just going a bit crazy. It's on this side as well. So they are the oil injector, possibly? Not sure what that does there.
What is that one? That looks like a fairly new part too.
Yeah.
And it's been messed with.
Alright guys, we may need to dig a little further in this part. it's definitely getting voltage from the key, and it's definitely getting voltage from the start switch, which, if I can turn the camera, is there. So that's definitely applying voltage because we can hear it kicking. The key is definitely working because it does nothing when it's off, but does when it's on. And the starter solenoid seems to be doing the same thing as mine's doing on this bike. So there's definitely something wiring related. We're just going to have to be a bit pedantic and go through every single wire on this thing, have a look for breaks, have a look to see if there's anything that's not joined that should be, and just check it off as we go. Well guys, that didn't quite go as planned. We gave as much effort into Josh's bike as we could to try and get that thing to run, but in all honesty, that wiring harness is in really, really poor condition. The previous owner or whoever has decided to muck around with it has really mucked around with that thing. So the main harness fuse has been completely deleted, it's removed. So that's obviously not a good point to begin with. I would assume that the reason they've done that is that the thing's been blowing fuses. Now, the reason I'm pretty confident of that is because the wiring was getting quite hot. That indicates that it's either got a really poor earth or it's getting voltage from somewhere it shouldn't be. So, easy enough to say, a little bit harder to diagnose. So the next port of call with that bike will be to essentially disassemble it a bit further than we had it today, pull the wiring harness out of it and start to pick through it and see if we can find a break in the harness that's leaking to earth, or if there's maybe something that's wired incorrectly. Now, I've said in other videos, specifically the CT one, that wiring's not my strong point, but they're pretty simple, to be honest, those things. We've had a bit of a discussion, Josh and I, and because his bike needs a few other parts, it's got some wrong bolts in it, there's a few bits that are missing, his seat is barely a seat. Mine's got a few parts that aren't quite up to scratch that I'm happy with. Nothing that's going to stop the bike running, as you saw, but just it would be nice to have it the way it's meant to be. So we might start to look for a third one to use as a donor bike for both of our bikes. It could be a little easier said than done. They're not super common, but there's a few advertised. So now, taking mine back home, I'll put it away in the workshop. We put Josh's semi back together, all the plastics and everything are back on it just to make it waterproof. We tucked it away in the storage that he's got for his, and we'll put a pin in this for now. So I guess the next time you see us, we will potentially be going to pick up another bike as a donor, or we will be diving into the wiring harness on his. I'm not sure which way we're going to go yet. We'll just see what eventuates. But look guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an interesting episode. We've both learned quite a bit about the little bikes from the tinkering, and look, we really appreciate you following the journey. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye.